I've known Iman for years, and he invited me to many of his big seminars and conferences in Vancouver. Has anyone ever been to Vancouver, British Columbia? Oh my goodness, what a beautiful city. Canada's very beautiful, but Vancouver especially. Very, very beautiful. And so we worked together for a number of years, and he's brought us groups over the years, and he's trained a lot of people in online courses and many, many different things, right? He's got several fingers in different pies, and he's the person you'll find in Pizza and Profits. I don't know if that's true this year. You've been holding court, training. Not so far. Not so far, but it's such a wealth of knowledge for online marketing that you'll probably find him around there at Pizza and Profits, one of the evenings, holding court. Every night, right? And he gives from the heart and asks really very little in return.
Iman Aghay has he's built an entire ecosystem for our industry using the power of community through his amazing tool, Actionera. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only Iman Aghay!
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Well, this is about. Good morning, everyone. Okay, let's wake up. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Awesome. Well, it's been great. I'm great. Don't worry. It's been great to be here on the Marketers Cruise. Are you guys enjoying your time here? Yes. Awesome. So, I'm going to. Okay. So here's the thing. Usually the only time that I accept a 45-minute time on the stage is if they allow me to go 45 minutes over time. So generally when I say hi, it takes 45 minutes, and then it starts, right? So I have 15 minutes right now, so I'm going to speak fast, and we're going to have several call to actions. I'm going to explain a lot of things, and you're going to take notes. Is that good? Right? I'm going to also give a lot of gifts as I'm talking, right? So you may want to write down what gifts I'm giving, because we're going to pass some forms where you can fill it, because QR codes and text messages and all the other things on the ship don't work, suck. You get the papers, you go home, you forget, your life doesn't change, and then you're like, Marketers Cruise could give me more, right? So instead of that, what we do, we pass the forms. You can just put your name and email, and I'll send the stuff to you without you needing to do anything. Is that cool with everyone? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So and so as I'm explaining, you're gonna see the forms, and then you can check mark anything you wish, and then we're gonna send you anything that you wish we send you. Is that cool with everyone? Yeah. Awesome, perfect. So what we're gonna talk about is how we built an entire ecosystem for our industry using the power of community. And quickly, because 70% of the people on the ship are new, so probably you haven't heard my story, and I'm going to give you my story very, very quickly so you know a little bit about who I am. So, as you guys all heard just a few seconds ago, I'm originally born and raised in Iran, right? Iran is the place that people call Iran, and I always ask them where. And then they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, where did you run? They're like, Iran. Okay, anyways, and then they are like, oh, so you're Iman. I'm like, no, Iman, Iran, and anything comes from that, it starts with E and has an A, not that A. So, but anyways, with that, I had a dream of becoming an international professional public speaker. I was looking at people like Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Oprah, and I was like, wow, these people are cool. They're super amazing, they're changing people's lives, they're making a lot of money, and I really want to be one of them. And with an Iranian passport, it's really hard to travel. My wife and I decided to move to Canada because it was easier for us. And we moved to Canada to learn English, to get a passport that allows us to travel easier. And about 3 days after we landed in Canada, we realized that our money is not going to follow us. And we were like, oh shit. And it was 2009, right after 2008 recession. We started applying for one job after another. 11 months later, we had no money. We were left with almost nothing. Not a single person interviewed me, even as a janitor, for things. People were out of work, like everybody was out of work, right? We had about $2,500 left in our bank account. And I went to my wife and said, honey, here's the thing. With this $2,500, we can either buy 2 one-way tickets and go back to Iran, or we can pay the bill, pay the rent, buy some food, and we know that by the end of the month we don't have the money for rent and food. What should we do? And she looked at me and said something that changed my life and the lives of many people as a result of that one word. She said, Iman, have we ever given up on any of our dreams? And I said, no. And she said, so why would we give up on this dream now? Pay the rent, pay the bill, and we do whatever it takes to bring our dream to reality. And I'm sure many of us here in this room have done that. That we did whatever it took. Many of us are doing it right now, here in this room. And that, we paid the rent, we paid the bill, the countdown to become homeless started. 17 days away from becoming homeless, I woke up and I realized I'm already homeless and I don't know it. And the reason for it was because if for the last 11 months nobody hired me, why would somebody hire me in the next 17 days? And even if they do, the first paycheck comes 14 days after, when I already have passed the deadline for everything. So I was like, if you don't give it to me, I'll build it myself. Write it down for yourself. If you don't give it to me, I'll do it myself, right? And I said, I want to become an international professional public speaker. Nobody even hires me as a janitor. Fuck them. I'm gonna build my own stage. I'm gonna get on my own stage, right? So I built something called the Entrepreneurs International Network. That was the first organization I've ever built called Entrepreneurs International Network. And I started inviting speakers to come on my stage. Remember, at this time, I can't speak English. So I called a friend of mine. Her name was Sarah. Not the Sarah that many of you know as my right-hand person from before, but like another Sarah. But anyway, I called that person. I'm like, hey, here's the thing. I started this company, but I can't really be its MC because I can't really be MC. So I need you to run the company for me for 3 months. And she was like, okay, sure. So she started running the organization as the MC. I was doing all the back end and with broken English, writing crappy copy for events. And yet people started showing up because they really liked the speaker. I remember times that people were emailing me saying speech is S-P-E-E-C-H, not S-P-E-A-C-H. You may want to fix that on the page. And I was like, sure, right? So that's where I started, right? So, but with the power of community, these people came together and they were known, so they were inviting other people, and then other people were coming. And next thing we know, we are like 70 people in the audience, 80 people in the audience, 100 people in the audience, right? Now think about this. If you're a speaker, you know somebody that has a stage of 100 people, 80 people, 70 people, and don't you want to speak on their stage? Say yes? Yeah. Of course you want to speak on their stage, right? But remember, like this guy wants to become a speaker. So I was looking at the organizers, I'm like, hey, you organize an event. If I put you on my stage, can you put me on your stage? And they were looking at my stage and they're like, oh shit, I really want to be there. Your English is not good, but you are knowledgeable, so sure. Right? So I started landing stage. Does it make sense? Everybody with me? Yeah. Right? So anyway, so that's how I started. That's how everything started. And then later on, I built a course called Ultimate Course Formula, which became the most sold book on Amazon on online course creation, the top 100 entrepreneurial books in the world since 2019, every single day, not one day. And kind of developed something called the 17-week lifestyle. So what was the 17-week lifestyle? I'm a very system-oriented person, so I build systems around things, right? And then I was tired of reinventing the wheel for marketing. So I created something called the 17-week lifestyle, where I was working for 14 weeks, and then I was taking off 3 weeks, right? And over the year, I was taking 10 weeks off because 17 times 3 is 51, a year is 52 weeks. So I was getting an additional week off at the end of the year. And then I started hiring team members. So I was working like 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week, running a 7-figure company and taking 10 weeks off, right? And then I got bored. And so one thing, Now, the first gift that I want to give you is actually a course called Action Course Mastery, and then it follows with another event, 3-day event called Action Course Mastery Live, where in that I'm going to show you how to create an offer, how to create a course, how to create your packages, and how to live the 17-week lifestyle. So you can actually do all of these things. So when you need to do a webinar, when you need to do so a lot of people talk about these things, do a summit, do a webinar, do this, but when, in which part of the cycle, and they're not provided insight, right? So in the 17-week lifestyle, we talk about the cycle and starts making sense of online marketing, right? So that's my first gift for you. When you get the forms, there's a place that says Action Course Mastery. Tick that if you want the 17-week lifestyle, and you want to learn that, right? Thanks. And then, so anyway, so that was the thing. And then I got bored, right? Because I was working like 4, 5, 10 hours a week running the 7-figure company, and I was like, so what do I do now? And now I bought into JV Insider Circle with Rich German, who had built this community of excellence, because I really loved communities. I was always about communities, right? Communities made me who I was. And so I bought into JVIC, and now I took JVIC into 7 figures with the 17-week lifestyle. Then I started the Ultimate Licensing Formula with Mitch Axelrod, and then I took that to 7 figures because it was like a 17-week lifestyle, right? So it's like easy 4 or 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week in every company, and it was just like making 7 figures, building all these academies, thinking that I really know what I'm doing, and I was very happy. So okay, so my gift 3 and 4 for you, by the way, is a course called Collaboration Mastery, plus a 3-day event called Collaborate, where you can actually come there, meet JV partners, land stages, land summits, land podcasts, land gift giveaways between all the other people, and kind of like land all of those like promotions. So if you want to come to Collaborate, just put the check mark beside the Collaborate one on that, so you can actually come and hang out with us. And Collaboration Mastery teaches you how to make deals, who are the deals, like what are the deals, like how to shape all those relationships and everything else, right? So anyway, so then I started, of course, like I got on a lot of stages. Let's move. So yeah, so a lot of stages, a lot of changes, a lot of other things, and then one day they invited me on a panel at an event. They were like, Iman, we want you to have you on a panel, you're very successful, come. And I'm like, okay, well, great, how can I go? I'm successful, right? No, I wasn't. Because here's the thing that happened. I was sitting on this panel, 7 other people, all around my age, maybe 5 years older, 5 years younger. And they started talking about the net worth of the members on the panel and the impact they've made, right? Now imagine I'm running 3 7-figure companies, I'm very happy, I'm very like, right? Well, here's the thing. I was an accounting error on the net worth of the panel. I was an accounting error on the net worth. Like, you literally could remove me and nobody would know. They're like, between the 7 of them, they have $1.8 billion. And they had made the change in lives of so many more people than me. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck, maybe I should sit quiet here and slowly disappear, and hopefully nobody asks me any questions, because what the fuck am I doing here, right? And I got there, and I'm like, okay, so there's a problem here, because, well, I have 3 academies, 7-figure companies, which I thought is the goal, right? And I ended up on my deathbed from cancer back in 2012, and so when I ended up on my deathbed, I decided to change the lives of 100 million people before I die, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like looking about the impact, looking about everything, and I'm like, holy crap, like these guys are doing a lot more, right? So that's when I decided to combine the community with tech, because we realized that when you mix the community with a tech company, then you can leverage it to the level that you can't in any shape or form with just the community and education. And that allowed us to build a collaboration ecosystem where we're providing technology, we're providing education, and we're providing collaboration grounds to people, right? So I'm out of time, but here is what I want you to do. On that form, there are a couple of other things that you can also select as a gift. One gift that you can select, there's also a 2-hour event called Influencer Circle. That way you can find it on page 25, where you can come and hang out with more people. Also, if you are a transformational leader, one of the companies that I bought about 5 companies. in the last few years and merged a lot of them together. We built a massive ecosystem, all of it by using the power of community, people connecting with each other and bringing content, bringing education, bringing all of that, right? So if you're a transformational leader, one of the companies about is called Evolutionary Business Council, which is a playground for transformational leaders where we all do personal development work there, right? So if you're a personal development work, like you're into personal development and you want to come and hang out with us at EBC, also beside your name, write EBC. Okay, so I know that you are a transformational leader and you're interested in that, okay? So anyway, I'm giving you several gifts, so we're gonna see each other a lot more, you're gonna hear more. There are lots of educations in the thing. Thank you very much for having me here on the stage. Love you all, thank you. I'm gonna be at Kids on Profit, come and ask me any questions that you wish.
Who loves a hard Iman? Everybody loves Iman. Amazing, amazing value.